In the house, goddamn. I see white folks, man, in the house. I want to say, first off, welcome. Goddamn it, welcome.
This is a spoiler alert. This video is only for people who want to discuss the movie and the happenings about the movie and within the movie. We're talking about the movie. Just getting that out the way. I don't want no comments that I spoiled the movie for you, because I'm telling you from the gate, we're talking about the movie. So don't watch if you don't want to hear about the movie, or if you haven't seen it yet and you don't want it spoiled. Tyler Perry made this movie in 5 days. That will be relevant later. Oddly enough, the movie opens with a white woman committing suicide by jumping off the roof of a house, which also won't be relevant until later at the very end of the movie. So that was an odd placing in my very amateur but veteran movie watching position. They have an attorney. Her name is Jasmine, who works at the public defender's office, and all she does is plead cases. So Tyler Perry, who works as her supervisor, Rory, specifically gave her this case for the reason of it to be pled out, because Grace Waters, the title's sake, wanted to plead guilty to murdering her husband under suspicious circumstances because there was no body. We're talking about the movie, as I previously stated. We're introduced to Sarah, who is Miss Queen Phylicia Rashad, who plays Grace's best friend of 6 years, who enlightens the public defender, Jasmine, on like Grace as a person, as she tries to get information about her case to investigate, which is, but her boss is pushing her for a plea. Jasmine went back to the public defender's office and tried to get a 15-year plea first for Grace, to which she was rebutted with a life without parole. And the only other request was that she move to a prison that she can go and see, like her son and grandbaby can come and see her. And he said he would look into it. So when Jasmine took that plea back to Grace, she sobbed like an innocent person would sob, and made Jasmine question her innocence at that point. And she didn't get the plea then, but something that Grace told her made her go back to Sarah and talk to Sarah, because Sarah wasn't being honest. Sarah, Queen Rashad, was shisty. She played the villain in this movie, which was beautiful to see. She took all those years off to luxuriate. Her talent did not diminish at all. So shout out to Tyler Perry for casting her for that role, because she did that. When she was at Queen Rashad's home is when she ran into Cicely Tyson, who is also Queen, still doing it, 94 years old. Great job, Tyler. Let him work. She played in a very old, board. She was boarding at Phylicia Rashad's house. She said she had 3 tenants. She had more than that, goddammit. She's met with Grace's son. He said that his mom wouldn't let him see her. She should have questioned it at that point, that something was going on. And with her boss pushing for the plea to get it, because it was a high-profile case, and to get the publicity away from it, he wanted her to hurry up and get the plea and get it in. She got the plea signed, but she hadn't turned it in because now she's curious after she saw her sob like that, and she's trying to get to the bottom of what's going on. She smells like something is amiss. She talks to Grace. Grace tells her about her marriage and how great he was until they got married. And then he showed his true colors, and she lost her job because her password and logins were used to take over $300,000 out of her accounts at the bank where she worked. And also a second mortgage was taken out on her home, which had been paid for 4 years previous. And she had just married him. So he wasted absolutely no time. She just got, and she was just very gullible, and he was very disrespectful. And his wig, I'm just wondering if this is a joke you're telling with these wigs, because I know you know better. I know you know better. I know you got the budget for it. It's your entire, you just built an entire studio. Surely you can afford better wigs than that. You can go down to your nearest hair store and they will hook you up. It's probably chicks in the back putting them bitches on for you. Like, come on, man. Like, I hope that's a joke, like a running joke or something, because that is ridiculous. The shit that they was wearing on their head. That's some shit that you shake off, like you find and you shake off like out of storage. That is ridiculous. Very disappointed. You get an F for that. He was very disrespectful, but he was young. But he conned her. He gave her everything she needed to make her fall in love with him. And then he took her for everything she had. She got fired, and she would go to jail if she didn't get that money back. And she has no idea what happened to it because she didn't do it. You know what I mean? So she's thinking to herself, what is going on? She talked to her bank to find out that there's now a mortgage on her home for $375,000 that just got took out a little over a month previous. Again, he wasted no time. He started being very disrespectful to her, and that's when it started to taste like something I've already tasted from Tyler Perry. Like, I sense a pattern with his movies. Like, Diary of a Mad Black Woman is top 2 of his films for me. But I didn't think that it would continue. And his portrayal of black women in his movies basically as marks or just monsters, and as one of the biggest ratios that watch your films, it would be nice to be portrayed in a different light, because it took a black woman to get you here, regardless of the relationship thereafter. And you should be grateful for your life at this point, no matter what got you there, because look how you living compared to how you used to. Just saying. So if we can get some writers on deck who have a different perspective that can show you something different, a different ending to this movie would have been nice, because that shit was crazy. How he's standing there with 2 black guys and toilet tissue around his head, and she beat the brakes off his ass like he was dead. She beat his ass. Okay, there's no way that man could be standing there in any capacity at all unless you holding up his damn casket. That was ridiculous. You played us. That I seen boom mics in the scene. This is where the 5-day movie making comes into play. Like, just because you can make a movie in 5 days doesn't mean you should. You have a whole studio. You have a whole, like, plantation size movie theater system of your own. Why so rushed? You're gonna get quantity over quality, don't do that. That's not your style. Cranking out movies, I wouldn't recommend. Just my opinion. But that was my perspective. What was yours? Leave it in the comments below. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And follow. Thank you.